Good evening, and today we will continue the writing class. Um, Today lesson we will talk about sentence and five types of complements again. We will discuss more about the types of complements that we use in sentences. So again, I want you to be sure about the types of sentences that we use for different purposes and the types of sentences that we use in writing structure. If we divide sentence based on the purposes, we have declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, exclamatory sentence, and imperative sentence. But when we divide sentence based on the sentence structure, we will have simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. These four types are for the writing structure or sentence structure. Now let's go back to the types of to the sentence and the types of the complement that we use in sentence. Now let's answer the same question. What is a sentence? We can define a sentence as a group of words that contain at least a subject and a verb with a complete idea or a complete thought. But when talking about sentence structure, you can define it as subject and predicate with a complete thought or idea. As we know that a sentence has a subject and predicate at least. If you look at the first box, you can see the example. You speak English. So in this sentence, we have the subject you, we have the verb or predicate speak, and another word that have complete the predicate, which is English. But other sentences can be very long or complicated. Look at the second box. Ram and Tara speak English when they are working. We can see we don't have only the subject and the verb or predicate in the sentence. We have more words to complete the meaning in the sentence. And sometimes a sentence can have only the subject and a verb, like the definition that we gave previously. You can say smoke rises. I am sleeping. So these are the example that a sentence can be only a subject and a predicate. But we have more words in a sentence to complete the sentence and to complete the meaning of the predicate. That's why we have the complement. So again, the definition of a sentence is that a sentence has a subject and a verb at least. Now look at this example here. The selfish child grabbed. And we will have a question like grab what? He insulted. We have subject and a verb, but the meaning is not clear because it is incomplete with the question insult whom. Third, they were. We have the subject and a verb again, or a subject and a predicate in the sentence with a full stop, but the meaning is not complete. So we need other words to complete the meaning in these three sentences. So words that we use to complete the meaning in sentences, to complete the meaning to the predicate or subject, we call them complements. But in English writing, we have different kinds of complements. We have direct object, indirect objects, object complements, subject complements, which are predicate nominatives and predicate adjectives. Now look at the first type, direct object. What is direct object in a sentence? Look at these two sentences that we use direct object to complete the meaning that that they are incomplete in the previous sentences, in the previous examples. The selfish child grabbed the toy. He insulted Sarah. So we can see when we add these two words in these two sentences, the meaning is complete. The meaning is complete. The toy here is the direct object of the word grab, grab, and Sarah is the direct object of the verb insulted or the predicate insulted. So when the verb needs a noun or an object to complete its meaning, that verb is the transitive verbs. Uh, Transitive verbs need direct object to complete the meaning. So the noun that have the noun or the object that have to complete the meaning of the verb, we call it direct object. The second type of complement is indirect object. Indirect object is different from direct object because it is not the object of the verb. We use indirect object in a sentence to answer the question to what, to whom, for what, and for whom. And we always use indirect object with direct object in a sentence. For example, the boy gave Sarah the toy. Actually, this sentence should be the boy gave the toy to Sarah, but we just use a different place for these two objects. So Sarah is indirect object, and the toy is the direct object of the verb gave. Second, Sarah gave her doll a hug. The sentence should be Sarah gave a hug to her doll. We just change places to make one indirect object and one direct object. So her doll is indirect object and a hug is direct object of the verb gave. The third type of complement is object complement. Object complement means the word that complete the meaning to the object. And I will show you some verbs that we can use to make object complement. But now let's look at these two examples. The class elected Stanley president. I called Winnie an egghead. So we can see the president is the object complement because this word complete the meaning to Stanley. Complete the meaning or rename it again. The class elected Stanley president. I called Winnie an egghead. So the noun egghead renames Winnie or modifies Winnie. So it have complete the meaning to the word Winnie. That's why it is an object complement. Number 4 and number 5 are subject complement. And we have two types of subject complement. We have predicate nominative and predicate adjective. Subject complement, these two types of subject complement have complete the meaning of the subject. Predicate nominative sometimes is called a predicate noun because it is a noun in a sentence. A predicate nominative renames the subject by a linking verb. Look at the example. When we use linking verb, the noun after linking verb is predicate nominative. They were experts. So the word expert linked to the subject by the verb were. Were is linking verb. So they connect these two words by linking verb. So the word expert is predicate nominative. Mr. Wilson is my history professor. So the word professor or my history professor linked to the subject Mr. Wilson by the verb to be is or the linking verb is. So the noun after linking verb, we call them predicate nominative. And predicate adjective are adjectives that link to the subject by linking verb. They were hilarious. So the adjective hilarious linked to the subject they by a linking verb were. Your outfit looks terrific. An adjective terrific linked to the subject by the linking verb look. So we have 5 types of complement. We have direct object, indirect object, object complement, subject complement or subject complement, we have two types. We have predicate nominative and a predicate adjective. So these are the verbs that we use to form indirect object in a sentence. We have ask, bring, find, get, give, hand, let, offer, pay, pour, a promise, read, send, show, tell, and write. Actually, there are some more verbs to form indirect object, but these are the very common verbs that we use to form it. For example, I asked her a question. So we can see that her is indirect object and a question is the direct object. I read my kid a story. So my kid here is indirect object and the story is direct object. They bring us a cake. So us here is indirect object and a cake here is direct object. So we can change this question into the original form, like I ask a question to her. I read a story for my kid. They bring a cake for us. So these are the common verbs for object complement. The verbs like make, name, call, choose, and elect. They made him supervisor. So we can see that the word supervisors complete the meaning of the pronoun him or the object him. So we call it object complement. The name of a dog, Peter. So the word Peter here renamed our dog. So it is an object complement that have complete the meaning of the object, our dog. So we have more verbs to form object complement actually. You can search more on the internet. So these are the linking verbs. So we have be can be am, is, are, or was, were in the past form. We have seem, become, feel, taste, appear, smell, turn, sound, and go. These are all linking verbs that we use to link predicate nominative and predicate adjective to the subject. She is a student. A student linked to the subject she by linking verb. Our parents feel happy. Happy is predicate adjective linked to the subject by the verb feel. My flower turned yellow. So the adjective or predicate adjective yellow linked to the subject by the verb or linking verb turned. Alright, thank you for today. See you next time, everybody.